Xbox Record This is a podcast celebrating all things gaming, food, and the good old days. Hosted by three BFFs, Daddy Diwali, Chipotle Bear, and BubbleBoy and Seven. This is Cortana. And remember, don't make a girl a promise if you know you can't keep it. As always, Spartans, see you online.
Oh, hello. Daddy Diwali here, and welcome to Xbox Record This, episode 61. The tripod returns. Are you talking to me with that symbol? I don't know. It's Jose's giving me some call signs here. Coming to you straight from my in-laws' basement. BubbleBoy is back. And he is reporting from his new basement, and Jose is reporting from some bedroom.
Quote, quarantine zone over here.
All right, Chipotle Bear. Wow, you've got that ranch.
Ooh, that
you just got a
nice,
massive base. What was on that wall over there, BubbleBoy? BubbleBoy, joining us as always. His grand return from his new studio that he spent thousands of dollars on.
Yep,
that's why he was gone this whole time.
That's how he does it.
Finishing his basement and spending lots of money. BubbleBoy, how are you, my friend?
Oh, happy to be back. It's not ready. It's gonna be about 2 more weeks before the actual setup is ready because as you can see, my normal setup isn't gonna be a window well. We're hurting right now. We're hurting. The Surface is done for. It's 10 years old, so I'm not entirely shocked. It's not working, and because the Surface isn't working, I'm on my iPad, and the iPad I can't use headphones or a mic at the same time. I can only use one or the other. It's a whole thing, and so these headphones are mostly for show.
All right.
All right, guys, we're going to need you to bear with us this episode. We are not using Zencastr because, as BubbleBoy just stated, you can't use it. You can't use it on any mobile devices. If we were still with Riverside, dang it, it would have worked right now, guys. I'm not going to lie, because they allow you to use an app. So, negative there for Zencastr. But the good news is BubbleBoy he's looking at gaming laptops, you guys. And he's going to be able to game and produce and have some mad stats and specs for his next setup here. So I can't wait to hear updates on that. But while BubbleBoy is pulling up his new Dell, Chipotle Bear, Chipotle Bear. Tell us about your current situation.
So I, long story short, was at a work conference in New Orleans, which was a lot of fun and very, very exciting and fun. And literally on the day we came home, I started not feeling good, and I got home and the next day tested, and I have COVID. So now I am in quarantine in my bedroom reporting live. I'm literally sitting in my bed, and before I was quarantined out, my wife was like, you have 10 minutes to get what you need. And so I ran around the house getting my Xbox, my stuff for recording, and I'm sitting in my bed recording. That's why I sound so funky, but happy to be back. Thrilled to see the tripod back together, and awesome. Excited to talk about some video games today with you guys.
Yes, I'm so excited. So much to cover with BubbleBoy. BubbleBoy, make sure and raise your hand. That's going to be our key to knowing when you need to speak because of the whole mic situation. Okay, BubbleBoy, go ahead.
Hey, look at that. I got called on. So if anybody wants to write into the show and tell me, it'd have to be quick. But currently I'm going with the Dell G15 15.6-inch FHD gaming laptop, Intel Core i7, 16 gigs memory, NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3050, 512 gig, solid state drive, black, dark, shadow, gray.
Thank you.
BubbleBoy, I'm telling you that's above what you want to do. But you have that. You're going to be able to game on that for a while. You're going to be able to do everything you want to do, streaming and making videos wise. That's excessive. And it has the 16 gigs of RAM is more than mine. The CPU is as good as mine. I'm telling you, I think you could get away with that $599 Lenovo. But if you want to future proof and you don't have to do anything for years, yeah, that's the one to get.
So we call a certified banger right there.
Yeah, because it'll be, and I can get it the open box, excellent value. It'll go down to 800, but then with the 4th of July deal, it'll be about 750. So at that point, like 150 extra, might as well, future proof it.
Yeah. So explain what's the 4th of July? Why is there going to be another discount apparently? Is it going on sale?
I have a Best Buy credit card, and you either get the 12 months 0% financing or 5% cash back.
Copy that. Well, BubbleBoy, next week, guys, he is going to have a beast laptop, and we will be back on Zencastr. Currently, we are using Google Meet right now, so I apologize if the audio, not so much the video, is CACA. But guys, I'm so excited. So much to catch up on. And did you guys see my set that I made tonight? We've got the OG Xbox over here. We got Halo 2. We got
I noticed
Conflict
that.
Desert
Looking
Storm.
good.
And then we got Chance's favorite, Madden. Do you know what year that is, BubbleBoy?
Marshall Falk, so 2004? No, 2000?
That is 2003. Good guess. 2004, very, very close.
You're close.
So yes, the glory days of Madden back there. Also have the Duke and the S. And by the way, holding the S, you guys, the controller is ahead of its time. It still feels great. The S, I told you this last time, Jose, it is phenomenal. Like they nailed the controller on their second try. Like nailed it. That thing is so much better than any play. That thing's better than the DualShock 4 or the DualShock 4. I'd even say it's better than the DualSense, but go ahead, BubbleBoy.
So we had our air ducts cleaned out since we're wrapping up in the basement, and the guy that came to clean them, at the very end, he was like, I just need to say that controller is the coolest thing I've seen in any house in a long time. And of course, he was talking about my Halo Master Chief Elite Wireless Series 2, and he was just like, how did you even get that? And I was like, talent and skill.
I had to murder
mostly,
a few
but
people.
I'm also the assistant to the co-host on, I believe, the 37th ranked Xbox related podcast. And he was just like, this is so cool. He's like, I'm going to tell all my friends that I cleaned your house. I was like, yeah.
All right. Shout out to the Duck Man. Pick him up. Pick him up. But so glad to have BubbleBoy back in action. So much to catch up on. So let's jump into it, boys. Let's first quick XRT shout out to XbacongamN on YouTube. He wrote last week, hey, Cabin Fever was a masterpiece. It is up there with Too Fast, Too Furious and the pantheon of movie greatness. We boys and all, Dan, but leave Cabin Fever out your mouth. Okay, from now on, Bacon is perma-banned from the show. I cannot. 2 disgusting movies that he is a fan of. Awful.
You're not allowed to make fun of me anymore for movies.
Horrible. Oh my gosh, I couldn't believe it. He was defending Too Fast, Too Furious. I hear the newer ones are better. That movie, I almost walked out of back in, what was it, 2000 something. Terrible movie. The Pink S2000. Everything about that movie was just god awful. I hear they get Betty Bacon. You disgust me. Let's move on. There are no more shout outs this week. Guys, let's jump to the week. And we've been holding on to this one for a long.
All right. Daddy D. Wally coming a little unstable there on his internet connection. All right. You still there? That's not great.
All right, I'm back. We're back. Lost connection. We're back.
All right,
boys.
he's back.
We are back. We're just gonna keep going. Just keep going, Jose. BubbleBoy, lead us into what was I talking about? A warm up. Best
Can you guys
Spider-Man
see me
villains.
right now?
Yeah, we're good.
Yep.
We're good.
Oh, weird.
Best
It
Spider-Man
says
villain.
I can't. The iPad. Love the iPad for comics, coloring, and that's maybe about it. But all right, so the warm up. That, gosh, what, 12 weeks ago that I think we were talking about this, and I had finally seen, oh my goodness, Spider-Man
No Way Home.
No Way Home, I want to say. And so I was like, obviously it was somewhat spoiled for me because I saw it super late. I didn't know all the other Spider-Mans were going to be in it, though. I knew that there were the villains, but I didn't know that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield would be in it.
Yeah.
So that was so cool. I was just beyond excited for that one. Um, and so I was like, hey, we should do the best Spider-Man villains. And of course, I can't find my notes anywhere.
I can go first if
Somebody
you
else
want.
start.
I'll go first. So my honorable mention for villains, and this was actually
actually, Jose, let me go first because
okay.
my lists are always janky
Yeah,
when it
because
comes
we
to
told
these
you to do
villains
5
lists.
and you did 2.
Yep, exactly. So I'll jump in here, guys. My top 5, I can't even say definitive Spider-Man villain list, but here's mine. Hear me out here. Number 5, Hobgoblin. Yeah, he just seems like a cooler version of the Green Goblin. That's why he's on the list. Number 4, Mysterio. Here's the thing about Mysterio. Knew nothing about him, but I enjoyed Jake Gyllenhaal's version of Mysterio. Thought it was very
Yeah.
cool how he used his powers of deception and illusion, and he's
Drones.
just a normal guy with no real powers really, and just uses intelligence and technology. That was cool. I like that. Okay, here's where it gets good. Number 3, and I thought about this. I know it's cliche, but the Green Goblin. And here's the thing. I don't even think he's necessarily that good in the movies, William Dafoe. But then in No Way Home, I hated him. And I was like, he needs to be up there just because of how evil he really was. And you knew it was coming. You knew it was coming. But even then, like I was like, oh, I really hate you, Green Goblin, you son of a. You knew he was bad. So that's why he climbed so high on my list. But then we're getting real here. Number 2, Venom. Venom is just so cool looking. I haven't seen the movies. I'm not associating it with the movies. I'm just thinking comics wise and his overall appearance there. And I have to say, I don't know. I haven't read any of the comics really, except for maybe when I was a kid, a few of the comics. So number 1 for me, always thought he was so scary, was Carnage. Carnage, number 1 villain for Spider-Man. He's probably not even that good of a villain, but to me, seeing him in video games and seeing that red, even more evil version of Venom, Carnage, number 1. Jose, I know it's not good. You can take over. Tell me your list.
No, we actually share quite a few similar tastes here. But so I'm going to start with my honorable mentions. I had 2 that tied. Carnage actually made my honorable mention list, and not because I don't think he's an awesome villain. I do. I've always loved Carnage, but even in the comic books, I always thought he was lesser to like Venom, and everybody just likes him because he's crazy. He wasn't that. I don't think he was that compelling of an actual character in the stories, and so that's why I put him in the honorable mention list. I also put J. Jonah Jameson on that list or the honorable mention, because even though he's not technically an official villain of Spider-Man's, he's such an important like negative character for Peter Parker and for Spider-Man throughout all of the movies and the comics and stuff. I thought he's a really notable and notoriable person. But my official list, number 5, Mysterio, a lot of the same reasons that Dan said. Even in the old cartoons and comics, I loved his outfit, like the big bubble helmet thing. I think that's just a very iconic look. Number 4 for me, Green Goblin, for a lot of the same reasons. I don't inherently think he's a really cool villain, but he's very iconic for Spider-Man. He's like easily one of his nemesises. Number 3 was himself when Spider-Man had the black suit, right? When he was the black suit Spider-Man. And I know they made fun of that in Spider-Man 3 with Tobey Maguire, and it was the whole thing where he was like dancing and stuff. But in the comics, like that was actually a really formidable like piece of the story when he was grappling with being a good guy versus a bad guy and that kind of stuff. So I like that one. Number 2 for me, Doc Ock, again for similar reasons. He's just such a cool, like visually looking character. There's just no other villain like him in other stories, really, right? With the 4 arms. I really like the way that they did that with Alfred Molina in the movies too, where it was like connected to his spine and it had the safety chip and it broke and stuff. Like I just thought that was very well written. And then number 1, it's the only villain that everybody freaking loves, and that is Venom, just because he's scary and awesome. And I did like the Venom movies. I actually just recently watched the second Venom movie. I rented it from the library, and I think I told you about this, Dan, right? And Morbius. And so I really like Venom, man. He's just such an iconic character. If he wasn't a villain, man, he'd be such a cool hero. But as far as villains go, he's pretty awesome. So that is my official list. Chance, you want to take it off?
You saw Morbius.
From the library. I did not pay for it, but I did see it, and it was not great.
No, I'm kidding. So way back in the day when we first came up with this, or when I came up with this idea, I said there is a very, very obvious definitive answer for the number 1 villain in all of Spider-Man. None of you got it, and I'm a little disappointed in that. Your lists were really good. I liked them a lot, but just wasn't quite there. So for my honorable mention, I had Flash Thompson. I know he's not really a villain, but especially from the very, very first comic books, he's a real see you next Tuesday. And he's kind of like that in the newer movies, but and he's not really a villain, but Flash Thompson gets an honorable mention, as well as Venom is in my honorable mention. I know, because he's not always a villain. So I
Only
was like,
honorable
well, okay.
mention. Good God. I keep going. I'm sorry.
Well, because there's a definitive right answer again, and none of you got it. So number 5, Carnage. Carnage, just because he is so cool looking. I hope we can see him on the big screen soon. Who is it that's supposed to be playing him?
He isn't.
The guy
He
from
is
that
in the big
70s
screen.
show?
He's in the Venom movie. It's Woody Allen plays him.
No, he
Okay,
means in a Spider-Man movie, a good Spider-Man movie, Jose. Gosh, carry on, BubbleBoy. Jesus.
Sorry. It's yeah. Okay, number 4, Doc Octopus. Just like Jose said, because I love the similarities between the octopus and the spider. Right, they both have 8 legs, 8 arms. I just think that's really cool and well written. Number 3, one that, and actually my top 3, none of you guys had on any of these. Morlun, who he's the villain in the Spider-Verse comic books, which are really good, and his whole thing is just he travels the multiverse to every different universe, just killing Spider-Man everywhere he goes, just killing all of the Spider-Men, and he's like really, really, really good at it. And he's a pretty cool character. Number 2, which I was really shocked nobody had, but I guess it kind of makes sense, was Kingpin. And I think Vincent D'Onofrio did such an amazing Kingpin in the, what was he in, the Hawkeye, but then of course in
Daredevil.
the Daredevil, yes, those that he just did incredible in. But he's definitely a Spider-Man villain, and he goes along with those New York City villains. So had to have Kingpin on there. And then number 1, and again, I'm so disappointed in you guys, but the greatest villain in all of Spider-Man-dom is Kraven the Hunter, and it's so. Oh my God!
You serious, Clark?
Really, Daniel?
Why Craven?
No, people are gonna have to write in for this one, because Kraven the Hunter is incredible. He's the world's greatest hunter, and his motivations for chasing Spider-Man and killing Spider-Man are just out of ego. It's like the most dangerous game, and he's like, Spider-Man would be the hardest thing in the world to kill, so I'm going to kill Spider-Man because he's a hunter, and he's the best.
Isn't he rumored to be
All
played by
right.
somebody? Isn't there like an actor that said they want to play him? I forgot who it was though.
Yeah, he might be coming to the big screen.
All right, BubbleBoy with the definitive list. I have no idea who that guy was. I have no idea. Did he say Wes Craven the Hunter?
Hunter the
don't know.
Craven.
Don't never heard of Craven the Hunter, but thank you, BubbleBoy, for that. Spider-Man top villains. Like I said, I'm basically basing mine off of the movies mostly and some of the video games, so I apologize. You did. Everyone usually has Doc Ock on there. I didn't want him on there for some reason. I think there are other cooler looking villains, so that's why he was not on mine. But thank you, BubbleBoy, for the warm up, guys. Let's jump right in. We've got a lot to cover this week into Xbox/gaming news, but first and foremost, we need to catch up on BubbleBoy's thoughts on Game Fest, on the Xbox Showcase, all of the upcoming releases. We did not hear any of that. And BubbleBoy, go ahead and tell us if you had any potential predictions. Would you have done it any better than us? And don't lie, because I'm going to guess no.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, because I was texting with you guys, and some of the ones that I was hoping for didn't make it, of course. But that's okay. I honestly, looking back on it now that it's, 2 or 3 weeks old, Starfield, the actual gameplay and stuff was so cool, and I'm still thinking about it to this day. The customization of the characters, the customization of the ships, the combat looked a little stale, and I'm kind of like thinking that, well, that's kind of a minor part of all those games anyway, and I wonder if that's what Phil Spencer was kind of like, come on, guys, you have all these other incredible things going on. You could do a little bit better here. Why it got pushed back. But I am so excited for that. It looks amazing. That was by far the star of the show.
Any other thoughts though? There's just Starfield, or nothing really excites you? I mean, I was just gonna say Forza. Been playing a lot of that recently. I can't wait to talk to you about that a little bit later. And then, what about some of the? Tell me some other games that you liked.
Sorry. So I love
Yeah.
seeing the Hot Wheels. I am a massive fan of the Hot Wheels, and I'm by no means disappointed. But I do think if they were going to choose one of those two between Hot Wheels and Legos, I wish they would have gone with the Lego DLC. But again, not going to complain at all. Can't wait for Hot Wheels. I think the potential for all the various cars that you can get is quite a bit bigger there. I liked the Lego universe. Diablo 4 looked really good. I'm excited for that. I can't wait to play it with everybody. And those were kind of the big standouts. I do wish we would have gotten, oh my god, and I'm drawing a blank. What was the one that was like Fusion Frenzy with all the little furry things?
I don't
I
know.
don't. I remember. Yeah, I don't remember what it is. Have you tried Fall Guys yet, though? Chance, I'm surprised. Have you tried it? That seems like you would like that, and that could be one that you can play in front of Cora.
Yeah, I know. She's actually really into Forza right now, which is really fun. So I know it's really cool. So we paint every car like a watermelon, which is fun with the hot pink and the lime green, and add some little black dots to it. So
Amazing.
all
Love
of
it.
my all my Bentleys look like a watermelon.
Very, very nice. What are your thoughts on Redfall? I grew on Redfall a lot afterwards, and I've been reading more about it. Like, it's a single player game where people could just drop in. So I'm a lot higher at Redfall. What about you?
One of the things that bothers me a little that it's the only reason I could never get into Dishonored 2, even though I really liked Dishonored, was the idea of like you have to choose from the very beginning which character you're gonna be, right? And you don't know anything about them. Like I kind of liked how Outriders did the like prologue where you kind of got to see what each character was going to offer, but then of course that's nothing compared to something like Skyrim where it's just like, hey, you want to switch, you can always start putting all your stuff into this and start doing that. If you want to be a conjurer, start conjuring. Like that's the best part, that's the best way to do progression to me. But other than that, Redfall does look so good and so fun that I'm not going to be able to skip it, and it'll be free. So,
and think about Elden Ring. Elden Ring was the same way. You chose your class from the very beginning, and it's probably significantly longer than Redfall will be.
Yeah, but there are also like way more classes. But the 4 characters, you're right, and hopefully, I mean, I honestly, I just think the setting looks cool. I didn't know that Redfall was like the town that they're based in, and what was it, Massachusetts or something like that, and then. Just having vampires, something different, so I'm excited. I can't wait for that. So many, dude, 2023 is going to be stacked. Speaking of 2023, let's get into some non-Xbox news, but I know you guys care about God of War. So Jose, do you want to talk? I know these 2 articles about the God of War, they were going to release that, then that insider guy who basically said it was going to be announced didn't happen, and then you can tie that into the treat devs, and I would just read what that Corey Barlog, his response to that guy's tweet, and then Phil's.
Yeah, so I won't spend too much time on this, and I know we're an Xbox podcast, obviously, but these both come into from VGC. The first part of it was from Tom Ivan. He was talking about that yesterday on June 30th, as we record, they were supposed to reveal for the first time the special editions of God of War Ragnarok, and it was like a big thing. It came out on social media, but they didn't. At the very last minute, they pulled back. And obviously, people are going to be mad about that just because they're so excited for the game and they want to see everything coming out. But it's, the question is why, and they obviously didn't really say why. They just said, Sony Santa Monica creative director Corey Barlog asked fans to quote unquote please be patient for news on the eagerly anticipated sequel. I promise things will be shared at the earliest possible moment they can be. He said that if it were up to him, he'd share all the information about the game when he found out about it, but it's not up to me. And that's fine. I mean, that's just one of those, like, it's still coming, but it just goes to show that every studio, even the biggest studios and the biggest titles, are facing lots of issues right now, whether it has to do with delays of like physical products, whether it has to do with talent, whether it has to do with COVID. And I'm a great picture of that right now as well. But the other reason I brought it up is because a different story, this was also from VGC, but all over the internet as well. This one's from Chris Scullion. It was asking to treat developers with human decency and respect. And the reason why is because I guess apparently several of the developers were on like Twitter and they started getting ridiculous things from people on Twitter. Like one of them, a female developer tweeted that she had some users sending her unsolicited explicit images saying, when are you going to give me the release date and stuff, which is just ridiculous. Like in the time where we've talked about everything from like Activision and Blizzard and just like trying to clean up the industry, the fact that people would feel like it's right ever to do that to anybody, man or woman, and especially in regards to like trying to get information about a game. Like I think I saw the tweet and I should have pulled it up for here. I apologize, I didn't, but it was something along the lines of like, sending me that picture is not going to encourage me to give you information about God of War. In fact, it might do just the opposite. And I can't agree any less. Like that's ridiculous. And even Phil Spencer, because a lot of industry people have started coming in on this and just saying like, we need to treat developers with respect. Like, I know you love this stuff and that's great, but it doesn't give you license to be a jerk about it. Phil Spencer replied, "So well said, Corey. Can't wait to enjoy God of War when it comes out. And thanks to you and the team for the amazing work that goes into creating things. We love you." You know, it's cool to see that the industry does support each other, even cross-platform and stuff like this. And for anyone out there even thinking about doing something like this, don't, guys. Be a better person. This is ridiculous. There's no reason at all why we should even be reading an article about this. It's not funny. It's not okay. So so sorry that all the creative team at Santa Monica has to deal with that. And hopefully, you know, this is the end of it. That's all I can say, I guess, there. But just kind of bringing to light some important stuff across the industry. That's all I really wanted to say. So
Yeah, and I just want to add that I hate the Twitter streets and it's out of control. And Bacon, especially, texts me stuff all the time. Bacon, get off the Twitter streets. My God, it's gonna tear you down. And like, I'm not a big God of War fan at all. Like, I thought it was a good game, but I mean, I'm not like dying to go play the sequel. But just because like this is over a release date, like, who cares? Announce it when it's ready, and like it's not a big deal, and just enjoy the game. I would never think of harassing developers in any way. It's just so crazy, like that people get like this over a video game release date at that. So BubbleBoy, I don't know if you're still here, BubbleBoy, or see. We'll come back to BubbleBoy and get BubbleBoy. Are you here?
we'll come back to it in a second.
You can hear me? All right, BubbleBoy ran to the pooper. Let's move on. I'll come back to that in a second. Perfect use of the Simpsons soundtrack right there. We got to clip that. Somebody clip that right away. We'll come back to God of War here in a second. But Jose, do you want me to read about Halo, or do you want to do this one? I don't know how you're feeling about reading some of the stories and whatnot, but
you go ahead and read it for me. It's just about an update about co-op mode, because I know everyone's been asking about that.
Let's talk about it. Halo Infinite's campaign co-op will let every player make progress. Insiders will be able to test co-op and mission replay features in July. This is coming from Chris Scullion over at VGC. Basically, whereas some games with co-op only track the lead player's progress, Halo Infinite will ensure that accomplishment will count for everyone in a team, according to world designer John Mulkey. In a new blog post on the official Halo Waypoint website, he explains, the goal going in was to allow everyone to play their campaigns together. This meant that all progress in the game, made in the game, regardless of it being through solo or co-op, would be retained. I could be playing solo, jump into a co-op session for a few hours, then launch back into solo play, and all the mission progress, acquired collectibles, equipment found, achievements earned, and upgrades made in either session would be intact. Gone are the days of playing somebody else's game while earning no progress. This is so freaking cool, Jose. This is what I want in every co-op game. And what sucks about this is that while Halo is doing this on one side, Redfall is the complete opposite, where it's only you cop in, you get no progress, which is kind of crazy. BubbleBoy, are you excited to play campaign co-op with somebody? Probably not, because you've already beaten it and done everything, really. But the idea of everybody sharing the progress What do you think of that? I love it personally.
I think it's cool depending on what the achievement is, right? And so if it's something like, stop. Come on. Like if it's something, I'm trying to think, I can't even think of what a good example would be. But if it's something that like I do by myself, like get so many kills or something, but then we all get the achievement for it, that I don't know about that.
I
But
gotta
if
jump
it's
in right now, Bubble Boy, because here's where I need you. Because I was gonna talk to you about this later. I need you to get me a win on the eliminator because I'm never going to be able to do it, Chance. And I would love to have somebody get that with me in another game because it's impossible. It's impossible, Bubble Boy. That's going to prevent me from getting 1,000. And like it's impossible. We'll talk more about this later, but that to counter it, I would love if someone could just share that achievement with me because it's never going to happen. I've given up. I tried like 30 games. I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore. I don't know
But
how
so then
Bubble
you
Boy
didn't
did
earn
it.
it though. Like if it just I give it to you, that's
Okay.
not earning it.
Besides achievements, though, progress in the game, I feel like that's cool. I don't know. I like it. Go ahead. Sorry to interrupt about the
For
fun
sure.
settings.
No,
It's
for
pissing
sure
me
it
off.
is. And I remember going nuts when I first told you guys that I won my first match of the eliminator, and it was I'll never forget because the the last zone that you're in was on the very top of a mountain, and I had already, just like you, I already played like 30 games, and I was just like, you know what, screw it, it's got to be over there, right? Which it happens often. You can kind of guess a little bit of where it's going to be at, but I was just like, forget it, and I just jumped off the mountain. I just went for it, and I'm just like falling, and it's like, oh, you're gonna kick out in 5 seconds, right? And then it opened, and I was 5 mile, I don't know, however many, a mile ahead of everybody else. Like I was just like, oh, but that's what you have to do. You just have to guess. And I think I had a crappy car. I had like a Nissan like 350Z or something. Like it wasn't even one of the better off-road cars. But going back to the idea, yeah, it depends. The progress I think makes sense. The achievements, it kind of depends.
Jose, what about you? I think this is a good thing. I've always felt like
as
it,
the
it
one
incentivizes you to play with other people because you're both getting credit, really. Like otherwise, why would I come in your game besides just to help you, I guess.
Well, that's exactly what I was going to say. As the resident person who gets lifted on the backs of my teammates here, this is great news for me because now I can play legendary modes and all that kind of stuff. But in all seriousness, no, again, it's if the goal is to make games accessible for everyone and the goal is to encourage people to play with their friends, why not build these features in? You know what I'm saying? Like it is a little bit of a bummer with Redfall that they're not doing this, not because I'm trying to go on the coattails of Chance's achievements or Dan's extreme like loves to be on the front of the battlefield playing the tank. It's just it's one of those where like it encourages again people to play together with their friends, which I'm all for. So it's cool. I think it's great.
And Bubble Boy, tying back, we didn't get your thoughts on the God of War in general thing. Are you excited for Ragnarok? Will that be when you eventually try to get your? Well, you'll probably be able to get one then because they have been a lot easier, and I've seen them in stock a lot later. I've sent you a few times, so yeah.
Yeah, they're coming. I think it's coming. Unfortunately, I think I'm going to have to go with a gaming PC instead. I don't know that I can do both. And sorry, PlayStation, the perks of Game Pass Ultimate on the PC, just that wins. I would have been really excited for Ragnarok if I can find a good deal on maybe a digital edition or something. Past that, I'll probably wait. I did remember one other thing from the Game Fest that I totally forgot to say. Way back, in March, February, or whatever, you heard it here first on XRT. Kojima coming to Xbox, right? We got the hoodies and everything. Kojima is now an Xbox guy. Who knows what he's making? We probably won't understand any of it, and that's okay. It's gonna be fun to play. I can't wait. Xbox or XRT called it a long time ago.
Well, actually, did you hear that recent news? I don't think we pulled up the article, but he was saying that one of the projects he was working on was too close to The Boys, that show The Boys on Amazon, and so he's tabled it. And I was thinking about that. I was like, man, that would have been a cool game from him where superheroes are kind of like bad guys. You can look it up. You can there's videos on the internet of it on YouTube where he was saying that's what he wanted to do. Chance?
Which is hilarious, though, because the comic has been out for quite a long time. So he probably, that does, I don't know. I'll believe him. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt because maybe he doesn't read comics, but the comic has been out for much, much longer than the show. And maybe he hadn't read it. And it is such a cool idea. Oh man, that would have been cool.
Tying directly into Kojima claiming that he was going to create something that had already been created. I was going to send you this text because somebody tweeted this, and I have to read this to you, and I'm going to send it to you too. He said, a decade ago, this is from his Twitter account. A decade ago, there were two choices. Do you play games on a console or carry it with you on a portable device? There were no high-spec smartphones like we have today, but rather traditional cell phone. And he said part 2 of 2. So what I proposed was a transferring function that would allow users to continue playing the same title across platforms. It was not well understood, but now it is common. So I was just going to send this to you guys and be like, did Hideo Kojima just claim that he created crossplay and cross saves? Like, that's really what he's saying right here. And I'm like, dude, there were cross saves between things way before your idea a decade ago, Hideo. So yeah, go ahead, BubbleBoy.
Nothing he does is easy to understand, but it doesn't make it not great, right? Like, that is so funny. Do you know anything that happened in Metal Gear Solid 5? No, but it was a lot of fun to play.
Yeah, great game. But yeah, story-wise, it started out so strong, and then I don't even remember anything besides the opening. So, Hideo, welcome to Xbox. Again, I mean, you were on the stage before, but we are your official Hideo Kojima production. XRT, welcome back, Hideo Kojima. Let's move on to the next story. And guys, I'm not going to lie. I remember you guys made fun of me and said I can play Robin. But now I'm super pumped to play as Robin. And I'll take Robin, even though he's kind of like the smart-ass kid, whatever. This is coming from Game Informer, and this is from John Carson. Robin's Gotham Knights toolkit includes teleportation and slingshots. In a new character trailer, Robin shows off how he disposes of Gotham's thugs. His standard melee comment is centered around quick attacks and the use of his quarterstaff for leverage and mid-range beatdowns. Robin also has a stealthy element, enabling active camouflage to mask his presence and sneak up on unsuspecting suspects. The most surprising reveal in the trailer is that the Boy Wonder has tapped into the Justice League satellite to enable short-range teleportation to zip around Gotham and get the drop on enemies or make impossible leaps a reality. He's also using holograms and deploys decoys to deceive dummies in combat. Guys, I'm not gonna lie, everyone loves to hate on Robin, but after this trailer I was like, I will gladly play as Robin now. He's gonna be my main, and I can't wait to teleport like Nightcrawler. And he actually looks cool when he has his hood on. He actually looks badass, not just the little mask piece that clearly everyone's gonna know who the heck you are just because you're wearing that. I don't even know what is that. I don't know, just a tiny black mask. So Jose, did this change your view on Robin, or are you still going to main Batgirl like you said you were going to?
Well, to be fair, we haven't seen the gameplay on this like for Batgirl and for Red Hood still. So I think I need to wait until those come out. But I fully agree with you. Like, I was a little bit down on Robin ahead of this. Like, he was the one who I was like, oh, I don't want to be Robin. I thought this gameplay was killer, like super cool. I honestly thought it was way better than Nightwing. Again, it's a little unfair because the Nightwing came out first and it could have been some kind of alpha footage that just wasn't quite there. So it's a little unfair to say that it's automatically going to be better. But overall, I think it looked awesome and it made me very excited for October for when this game comes out. I just think that they're doing a lot of really cool things, and I hope it just all comes together. But I love the bow staff. That's why I put the Napoleon Dynamite quote in there. I thought that was awesome. The teleporting was cool. I also really liked when he did that, like, he left like the hologram of himself and then it blew up. It reminded me of Sub-Zero in Mortal Kombat. What was that, like 4, where he would like leave his thing there and if you touched it, froze you and stuff. Really cool, man. So I'm really pumped for this. It made me super excited for this whole thing. And a quick question for either of you. Have either of you ever watched Harley Quinn on HBO Max, like the show Harley Quinn? I never have either, but I saw a trailer for season 3 because I guess it's coming out. It looks awesome. Like, it looks like it's an adult cartoon, like lots of cussing and adult themes and violence and stuff. I'm gonna have to check it out, especially with some of this stuff, because they even had some of the Court of Owls stuff in there. Chance?
I think DC altogether is kind of getting a bad rap because of how good the Marvel Cinematic Universe has been lately and all the stuff on Disney Plus, that people skip over a lot of DC things and they're missing out for sure. Like the Titans we both liked, I know, and yeah, we can talk about more later about that. But yeah, I agree with you completely. So.
And your thoughts on the Robin footage?
They had to make him look good. He's just such a lame character for so many other reasons. Like, he was going to be the last choice no matter what. They had to make him do some cool things, I felt like. And anytime you're not going to have Batman in something that's Batman themed, where, I mean, maybe they will. We don't know. I will also add, I went back and played Arkham Knight after some of this. And all the DLC is like a, kind of like get your feet wet on some of those things. And Robin isn't bad. He's actually pretty fun to play as. So I honestly, I would be happy, like, if the three of us were playing, to let the two of you choose and then be like, I'll take whoever's left over, which I assume would be between Robin and Nightwing. But we'll see. You never know.
Well,
DNC's pretty stuck on Robin now.
No, do you know what's funny is I always have been a Robin fan, and everyone hated on him, and I never understood why. Why does everyone hate Robin? I think he's kind of cool.
He used to wear elf shoes, bud,
Dude,
and like short shorts.
Chris O'Donnell, come on, man.
Yeah, okay,
cool.
no, you stop right there. You are not allowed you're not allowed to like Chris O'Donnell when you made fun of me for George Clooney Batman. You are not allowed to like Chris O'Donnell.
Terrible Batman, but Chris O'Donnell.
Oh my God,
Robin.
no,
all right, let's move on to the next story. Cooking up. Oh wait, BubbleBoy, go ahead.
No, yeah, you do not get to make fun of Jose for George Clooney and then say you liked the Chris O'Donnell. He was way worse than George Clooney in that. I don't even remember what it's called, Batman Forever, right? Like, that was one of the worst movies. I went back and rewatched all of them, and I have my rankings and all the definitive, like, all the stuff. You don't get to say that about.
All right, well, bring your definitive Batman list next week for sure. We need to hear that finally. Let's go back to Xbox news. We're talking about Hideo, talking about Robin. Let's go. This is an awesome Xbox news story that just came out. Cooking up a new composition for Cuphead, the delicious last course. And this is coming on the Xbox Wire. This is from Mike Nelson. He's an editor over there. Summary: we chat with composer Chris Madigan and studio MDHR creative director Chad Moldenhauer about the collection of brand new songs for Cuphead, the delicious last course. From navigating COVID to some outstanding performances from their musicians, the newest soundtrack rivals some of gaming's best. Cuphead, the delicious last course, is available for purchase today on the Xbox store for $7.99. Everybody go buy Cuphead. Go buy the entire collection, the bundle, Cuphead and the DLC, for $26.99. I already bought it. Haven't played a second of it, but I already know it is worth your time and money. One of the best games that I've played. Guys, I'm excited to jump back into Cuphead. Well, I'm kind of actually afraid too, because I remember that is a game that you gotta put in some time if you're gonna beat some of the enemies. So BubbleBoy, go ahead and lead us off. How excited are you for Cuphead? Have you checked it out? And I know you already bought it, so go ahead.
Obviously, I already bought it, and I bought it for Cordy Morgs for his birthday, which just happened not too long ago. I'm so excited, and I actually, for the first time ever, I did an actual review on, like, through my Xbox on the the storefront or whatever that you can see. I don't know if it's still up. You guys can check it out. But I think some of the things I said was just like MDHR does pristine work. Like, I think that was the word I used. The art style is incredible. They understand what they are. The music is fantastic. None of it's even necessarily like stuff that I necessarily love, but it's so well done. And then you go back to the gameplay, which is just to a T. They perfected that gameplay so incredibly. I tried a little bit of the DLC, which hopefully you all noticed, Delicious Last Course DLC. Haha. I have to go back, I think, and do some of the earlier levels first, because I'm rusty, and you can't play that game rusty at all.
Fully agree, man. I haven't downloaded it yet, but I've already bought it as well. Cuphead is such a cool game, and it harkens you back to literally like the cartoons of like the 40s. It is, every time I see it, I still cannot believe how much it looks like a cartoon, but it's a game. Like, just the visuals of it are so cool. And I was actually watching a bunch of stuff like this today again, because I'm in quarantine. I'm stuck in this room all day. I watched like the first 15 minutes of this guy play it. It looks just as beautiful as the other ones. The story's really cool. They add a new character that you can play as. And what blew my mind of all the things I saw on it today was the guy who reviewed it for IGN. I forgot his name. He gave it a 9, first of all. So that just tells you how much IGN loved it. Great game. But he also said it only took him like 3 hours to beat the DLC. And I was like, oh my God. I think I spent 3 hours on the first level of Cuphead. Because I think it takes such an incredibly amount of timing and stuff, but such a fun game. I actually think I'm going to get back into it in these next couple of days since I have not a lot to do, but super happy that they're working on it. I hope that they're considering a Cuphead 2. I know all the fans would like it. I can't believe that they did all this work and stuff for only $8. Like, that's an incredible price for this game. Absolutely worth it if you've never played it before.
Yeah, you're right. That's insane. $8, just crazy. Everybody go play Cuphead immediately. BubbleBoy, go ahead.
I had a few different fantasies about getting the 100% on it. I know, shaking your head. I know, because I feel like that would finally earn me the respect of, like, I know I'm probably not going to ever pass you number wise in gamer score, but to have that one on there, it's like, you can't argue with that. But I know this. Yeah, right. But the second I do, all that's going to force you to do, even though you don't care about gamer score anymore, it's just going to force you to do it. And I don't know if I hate you that much. I don't know. We'll see.
No, you could have that. And you're right. I'm already impressed with the Eliminator win, and enough by it is. Like, I'm not even kidding. I'm not going to do that. Like, it's stupid. I'll pay somebody. I'll pay someone to take my gamer tag to do it because I'm so freaking pissed off about that. It's unwinnable. It's unwinnable. So let's move on to the next story. Jose, I wanted you to take over this one. This was the 2022 upcoming game release schedule. This is by Gabe Gerwin over on GameSpot. What you had put this in here, I think. And what did you want to talk about?
Yeah.
Just to remind us of some games that are coming out?
Yeah, so one reason was that I know a lot of people have been kind of down about releases not in 2022, right? Because we're hearing Redfall's 23, Starfield's 23, Dead Space Remakes 23. And so I wanted to put in here, this is a list of all of 2022. Now, granted, we're not all the way through 2022, but kind of if you guys want to scroll ahead to July onward, I was just curious if there were any games that you were excited to play or that you're excited to have come out. So like a big one, obviously, this month for myself, for the Horizon 5 DLC is coming out this month, which is awesome. Other games for myself that I just thought I definitely want to play. It's going to get busy, obviously, around October. But in September, I want to check out Evil West. I don't know if you saw any gameplay on Evil West. It looks really cool. Like, I was not really up on it, and then I saw some gameplay, and I think it looks really awesome. It reminds me of Darksiders, but in like a Wild West setting. So I'm excited to play that. In October, I still want to know more about Marvel's Midnight Suns, which we still have not seen gameplay about, even though it's only a couple months away. But obviously things then, we got Scorned, we got Gotham Knights, Modern Warfare 2. In November, I know you guys are not excited, but I'll be excited to play Pokemon Scarlet and Violet with my kids. And then December, obviously the Callisto Protocol when that comes out. So I was just curious, like, what other games you wanted to play in 2022. We're only literally halfway through the year. I just want to know what you guys are looking forward to. Chance, you want to go first?
Yeah, BubbleBoy, go ahead.
I have already downloaded the As Dusk Falls. I wasn't super impressed with the showing that it had at the Game Fest, but I still like it. It is right up my alley, and I feel like that might be something that I could really latch onto. The next one on there is Saints Row, which comes out in August. Saints Row 2 was one of the most underrated games I can think of in history. I thought it was incredible. It was the best soundtrack by far, and the best gameplay. And then three is where they just took it entirely over the top, and then 4 they just took it even more so. I hope, it seems like they're maybe trying to bring it back a little bit, so I'm looking forward a little bit to that if they can do it right. That Evil West does look definitely pretty cool to me. Marvel's Midnight Suns, of course, and then I'll play Plague Tale Requiem for sure. Persona 5 Royal, though, I feel like I want to pretend that I'm not going to sink a bunch of hours into, because it comes out, like 3 days before Gotham Knights. But I probably will, because that one is definitely right up my alley. And then, of course, the Callisto Protocol, if it comes out this year, looks absolutely incredible, and I'll buy anything that guy makes because Dead Space was so good.
Very nice, BubbleBoy. Here are the games that this is just my schedule for the rest of the year. I can just tell you, right, when it comes to new releases, and I completely forgot about Cuphead. I can't believe that's already out. Definitely that's going to start it off here. I should roll back. I'll do Cuphead. I got to do Resident Evil 8. I think I'm going to do that next. And then I keep delaying Cyberpunk. I don't know why. I don't know why. I'm so intimidated to start it. If it's as bad as The Witcher was, I don't know. But boy, we'll get back to that in a second. I agree with you. I'm not very impressed with As Dusk Falls, but I don't know if you heard any of those previews. People were pretty high on some of the story. They're like, I want to keep playing. I'm wondering what's going on. I may not like it graphically, and I don't really like walking simulators, but it's on Game Pass, so I want to give it a try. I've never played a Saints Row game, Chance, believe it or not. So maybe I'll play this one on discount. If it's good, I don't know. Let's hope. And then what's the next after that? I would say we're in September here. BubbleBoy, after I'm done saying all this, I need to hear thoughts on The Last of Us Part 1 remake. What the anyway, moving on. September doesn't look like there's anything big there, so good. A little break there. October is stacked a little bit. I'm going to try Scorn. Looks disgusting, looks terrible, but it's so weird. I have to try it. Do I go back and play Persona 5? I mean, I guess I never finished Persona 4, but do I give that JRPG a chance? But like Chance said, probably not right away, because I am definitely if is there any game that I'm going to buy, it's going to be Gotham Knights. Oh, and here's another one. I'm going to buy Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Let us hope, you guys, that hopefully by this time a miracle happens and Activision is acquired by Microsoft and we could just play it for free. Let us pray. BubbleBoy, hold on, give me a second. And then, Callisto Protocol, I'll wait for that to be on sale. So those are mine. Go ahead, BubbleBoy.
That I totally forgot about the Call of Duty, but I've almost bought Diablo 2 remake like 12 different times in this slow month of June, but I'm putting my patience pants on and I'm going to wait till it's free, because all of those are going to be free at some point. And I know, because it won't just be 70.
No, you're right, because the next Warzone will be free. So yeah, you can wait for the campaign. I guess that's a great point.
And just the timing of it, like there's going to be, if it had come out yesterday or June, absolutely, I would have spent $70 happily. But look at everything else right behind it: Gotham Knights, Persona 5, Scorn, Plague Tale, like just so much. Midnight Suns, too much.
Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of great games to play. It's overwhelming, and it's freaking me out thinking about 2023, because it's gonna be so much worse. And thank God I don't have many. I'm not a big PlayStation guy too, because if God of War comes out in November or whatever, that would be too much. So, guys, let's close off the news with our favorite segment: new games with goal for July 2022. I'll go first, and then I'll send it over to Jose, and then BubbleBoy. We're going to talk about the 4 games that you can get this month. The first one is Beasts. Actually, I have to say, I watched all of this, and this one looked kind of cool, like artistically wise. Beasts of Maravilla Island, available July 1st to July 31st. Unlock the wonder by taking pictures of elusive and beautiful creatures on a mysterious, dreamlike island. Explore 3D jungle teeming with unusual and playful life. Climb, explore, and solve puzzles. Use your grandfather's journals and his trusty old cameras to snap pics of otter crocodiles, birds distinguished as bananas, and much more. It's up to you and your photographer's eyes to help share Maravilla's magic with the world. I hope I'm saying it right, even though I watched the trailer. I don't remember how they pronounced it. Jose, tell us about Relicta.
Relicta comes starting July 16th to August 15th. Play as a physicist stranded on an eerie, derelict moon base. Find your way by bending gravity and magnetism to your will. Buried in the darkness of the lunar craters is a secret that might claim your daughter's life or change the fate of humanity forever. Solve puzzles in a game where every corner holds a mystery. Each step is a challenge, and if you're not careful, you got to watch out for
These nuts.
Oh,
Got
Jose got us right there. That Relicta is available July 16th to the 15th. Bubble Boy, tell us about Thrillville Off the Rails, available July 1st to the 15th.
Of course, Jose found a way to make Relicta sound fun and playable. Thrillville Off the Rails, design and run your own theme park with, count them, 5 new parks and 100 new missions. You'll need an all-day pass to enjoy this much fun, but you can't get those if you have a wife. The best part about creating crazy roller coaster rides is you get to ride them as many times as you want, which, if you've ever been to Disney World, is not real.
It's one time, but hey, that might be a good game for Cora. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe the last game, which is available July 16th through the 31st. And this game, I feel like I've heard of Torchlight, and it looks pretty good. It looks kind of like Diablo-esque. Hack and slash your way through dungeons galore. Choose from among 3 character classes as you roam from the center and safety of the town of Torchlight into randomly generated dungeons to battle hordes of monsters and collect lots of loot. You'll have a trusty animal companion at your side as you take on the main quest, side quests, and battle big bosses and chat with the denizens of town. I'm not gonna lie, that game I did see and it did look pretty. Have you played it, Chance? Have you heard of it? I've heard of Torchlight. Looked very cool. If you're craving Diablo for some reason, you have nothing else to play, grab those games with gold. And Jose, close off the last story here. And I know you've been waiting all episode to talk about this. Go ahead and tell us about Fuel Your Anger.
So this may not be directly gaming news, but it is just as much important to everyone else. This comes to us from Lifehacker from Elizabeth Yuko. Fuel your anger with a free Popeyes chicken sandwich every Friday this summer through August 26th. Basically, the way it works is this. The promotion comes courtesy of Popeyes and Grubhub. So to take advantage of it, you have to order your chicken through the food delivery app and order a minimum of $20 worth of food before tax, tip, and fees from the chicken chain. And then you get to add a sandwich and you get one for free, which granted, like, is not the same thing as just walking through as a free sandwich. Believe me, that would have been amazing, but it still is pretty cool that they're doing free stuff like this. And in a world where everything is expensive, including gas is just through the roof right now, it's pretty cool that they're doing some free stuff. So if you love your Popeyes, hopefully that one on Jewel and Wadsworth opens up sooner or later. You can do it this way. Oh, actually, fun story, and I'll pass it to Chance. Do you know why the one hasn't opened, Dan? I found out why they haven't opened yet, because they have everything. They don't have fryers. So I talked to one of my coworkers.
COVID delays.
Yeah, is friends with the manager, and they're like, we are ready to open our doors, but we do not have fryers yet. And so they're waiting for them to come in. But as soon as they come in, I'll be tickety tapping on that window for some fried chicken. I'll tell you that. Chance, what do you got?
Yeah, this is really sad news for Diwali, especially. Speaking of the high gas prices, we got rid of the Stow and Go. The Chrysler I know. It was too expensive on the gas, and give me that face for too expensive on the gas. It's absolutely.
What'd you get?
It's my first car ever. I got a Nissan Sentra that we got an incredible deal on, and whoever had it before me absolutely adored this car and thought it was the fastest thing on the planet, which it is not. It has an eco boost mode that I use all the time, and I'm banging out 37 miles to the gallon, which is fantastic with its aftermarket exhaust and 5% limo tint that it has all around. But it was so clean and such a good deal. And for a car, I don't hate it. But yeah, we had to get rid of the Pacifica. It was too expensive. We're saving $300 a month, guaranteed on trading in. So we still have the Kia and then this Nissan. And again, it's a car, so I'm not thrilled. But as far as a car goes, it's so dark inside. I love that though, because everything's black on the inside. So I do like that. At least I'll have to show you guys later.
Yeah, well, you got to make sacrifices. I've been there, got rid of 2 nice race cars. Now I drive a minivan to work. But see, we're lucky, Chance. I barely have to put any miles on the Expedition, even though that gets probably around the same gas mileage as the van. So only one of us is driving. So gas isn't too big of a deal for me. But we did think about driving out here for the vacation, and that combined with staying in a hotel for 2 nights, I was like, I'll spend the extra few $100s to just fly. Go ahead, Bubble Boy.
Well, yeah, and because speaking of having one car, we thought that's what we were going to do was have the minivan and just do one of us if we were working together, but we will not be. So more to come on that later, which is really sad to me. But yay for Gateway.
Go
All right,
Olympians.
interesting. We'll talk about this off the air. Let's find out more about that later. Let's jump into what have we been playing? That has been the Xbox news for the week. I will go first. I've already kind of mentioned it. I've been playing Forza Horizon. I brought my Xbox Series S out here to Pennsylvania. Also brought my laptop and showed BubbleBoy how cool it was to transfer my controller from controlling the Series S to my laptop seamlessly. And it's a very cool. He's going to be enjoying playing all of his. He won't even have to bring his Xbox anywhere because he can just bring his laptop and game on the go. I hate the Eliminator. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm never going to get that achievement. It's going to prevent me from trying to go for 1,000 on that. So I hate you, Playground Games, for that one. Dumb. Change the achievement now. I demand you change it to be placed in the top 5 or top 10 because I haven't even been in the top 5. So don't get me started on that. Also been playing Super Perils of Baking, making my way through that. Just kind of waiting to get back home to play Resident Evil and maybe Cyberpunk and Cuphead. Go ahead, Bubble Boy. Rub it in my face how I'm never going to get this achievement.
Yeah, come on. What happened to when me and Alan were slightly upset about the Elden Ring thing and you just had all these incredible, oh no, guys, it's okay to change the game. Like, come on.
That wasn't an achievement. And this achievement is ridiculous, Chance. You know it is. 0.8%, like, it's insane. And a lot of people play Eliminator. So that absolutely insane. Chance, it's gotten to the point I know I've looked up strats and everything and how you have to get your higher cars. And like every time I'm in a game, there's somebody with a level 10 within like minutes. And I'm like, okay, it's over. I'm done. It's over. I don't stand a chance. Why am I in this? And they know where to go. They're just freaks out there, the same freaks who are playing it over and over again. And they already know where to go before I do. It's unwinnable now. My only chance will be is if they do it in the DLC. And even then, the freaks are going to be there too. I can't deal with this. I can't. It's not attainable like other battle royale games where it's somewhat attainable. This is so random. What is it? The RNG, like it's just a random occurrence if you're gonna win this. So go ahead, Bubble Boy.
I'll give you that because and I got it within the first week. I'll have to go back and maybe you could too, like look at when I.
No, dude, you got it. And I did go back because I was like, Chance had to have gotten this early because there is no way you could get it now because they're just freaks. Chance there is a guy where I was like, oh, I'm gonna win. I'm so far ahead of everyone. I wasn't even halfway there and it was over, and I was like, what the. It was anyway. So tell us, what have you been playing, Bubble Boy? You've got a lot to catch up on.
Oh, Forza for sure. And I got so excited about the Hot Wheels DLC, and then I realized, well, I need to get 1,000 out of 1,000 before that Hot Wheels DLC comes out, but I won't be able to here's my gripe because of that stupid Smashables one. The Smashables does not happen very often. So I thought it was the daily challenges. It's not the daily challenges. It's those ones over on the far right. And there's maybe been like 7, I think, since the game came out. So to get 5 it's not impossible, and they're super easy. It's just going to take forever. What I'll add about the Eliminator thing is I do think as far as a racing game goes, they did an incredible job with it, but it is 100%, 95% luck because I was the same as you. I have no idea. Every car I see is like a 3 or a 4. And then you just 2 minutes in, you see some guy in a 10 like flying past you, one of those Hoonigan rally cars that you're like, where did that even come from? I'm on the edge of the map. Like I've waited to where you can see where the circle is going to be. And supposedly the better cars are ones that you have to like scramble for, but I'll get like a 4 maybe. And so then you just have to beat people, but you'll get randomly, hey, I have my awesome 7 and I'm going up against 10s, and it is a little unfair. You'll get it. You'll get it eventually. I again, first to admit, pure luck, but I was pretty stoked when I got it. A, because I got it, and B, because I got to stop playing Eliminator, which was kind of, not necessarily the point, but been playing a lot of Forza. Gosh, Jose, why don't you go and I'll remember everything else I've done.
Yeah, Jose, have you just been sleeping? Or you've been
Well,
gone
unfortunately,
too?
I've been gone for a week now, so I haven't really played much of anything. I got to play a little bit more Stardew Valley because I have it on my iPad, and I played that while traveling. Just such a great game to go back to. It's very leisurely. Before that, I was still playing a lot of Cyberpunk and Halo. Now that I'm back and can sit up for like a couple hours at a time, I'm going to try to get back into that, those 2 games here. But other than that, not a whole lot on this end. Sorry.
It's all good. Get better, Chapo Bear. Bubble Boy, anything else you want to add to what you've been playing? Go ahead.
I remember what I've been playing. I did get on Sea of Thieves, and I played the Pirates of the Caribbean DLC for Sea of Thieves. It was cool. That game is just not the same by yourself. It has some really cool mechanics that make sense by yourself in sailing a ship, but it's just not the same. You can't do it the same way that you can if you were with a whole crew and telling people like, I'm going to steer, you do this, you check the map. And the other thing that I had a lot of fun going back to since we last talked was I got 100% on Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which was actually pretty simple. It really wasn't that hard. I guess I had like 95% from back when I played it with my first playthrough, and a lot of the DLC stuff really wasn't that hard, and I enjoyed almost all of it. It never felt like a grind to get all that because it was all new stuff. I did try Chorus, which is that kind of like flight game in space, and it was cool. I wanted some sort of flight game because Top Gun had just come out, and it's obviously different because it's in space. The game could have been really cool, but there were so many bugs and glitches, and it was impossible to know what the objectives were that I just couldn't really get into it. And then, past that, Cora's been having a blast playing Forza with me. Can't wait to do more Cuphead. So,
yeah, I was gonna say I did play some Sea of Thieves, and I tried. It just needs a little bit more. I can't tell what it is, but every time I look at a chance, it is so beautiful. It's just stunning. The game is just absolutely beautiful, and I have to give them mad respect for that. So hopefully I'll get back into it. And it also shows my banding well, and we can talk about that later. Guys, that has been what we have been playing. Let's jump into the good old days, and I can't wait. I've been wanting to talk about this forever. Oh, wait, or did you want to talk about what we've been watching? Or can we save it for next week? Okay, let's save it. I've been waiting for this for so long. In celebration of Top Gun Maverick breaking records and passing the $1 billion at the box office mark, we are finally gonna rank the official, or the first movie, Top Gun, their first set of call signs. So guys, we have 14 call signs. I'm going to bring up a name, and you're going to tell me where it goes on the list, and we're going to go from 14 down to 1. Who has the coolest of cool call signs? I've been waiting for so long. I'm so excited. We've been waiting to do this with BubbleBoy. So let's get started. BubbleBoy, the first name we're going to start with is Chipper. I don't even remember who Chipper is, and I say this is number 14. Any objections?
Yep. 14 straight up.
Yeah, okay. Well, and let me, because I have to put a plug in and because Apple makes you name your folders.
Oh, yep. Show everybody.
Apple, by the way, when I got this way back in the day, all my folders have been named. I don't know if you can you see that? They were all the call signs from the original Top Gun. However, I only had 8? I only had 12. I think Chipper was one of the ones. Yeah, Chipper isn't even on my list, and the other one that wasn't there was, gosh, I'll have to look here a little. Oh, I didn't do Charlie. Charlie makes sense, but she's never flown a plane. So Chipper and Charlie, I know who Charlie is. No idea who Chipper was.
See, I don't even know. You're right. I don't know who Chipper is. So let's move on to the next one. You just mentioned it. Next one on my list, Charlie. Where are we putting Charlie?
13.
13?
13.
Okay, agreeable. No, do we want to put her last? No, she's cooler than Chipper. Who are we kidding? Charlie is number 13. Ooh, tough one here. We'll just jump right into it. Merlin. Where do we think Merlin should be placed? Kind of cool.
I think like a top
actor
10
playing
for
it.
sure.
Top 10. All right, Bubble Boy, what's your vote?
I had him at 8, so I think.
Where do we want to put him? Let's split the difference. We'll put him at number 9 for now. All right, because this is gonna change probably. And let me put this over here. Put this over here so I can see you guys. All right, here we go. Number 9. Let me just delete this. Number 9 is gonna be Merlin. All right, let's keep going. Next one, Wolfman. Where do we want the old Wolf Man? Bubble Boy, why don't you lead us on this one?
He was that. I like that one. That one comes in at a solid 5 for me.
Okay.
I liked Wolfman.
Jose.
I'm okay with that. I would say 5 or 6.
Top 5? Wolfman.
So
yeah,
here's
that's pretty cool. No. You're right. I'm gonna put him. We're putting.
But let me preface this because I had to do. It was really hard, and I already failed at it with Charlie and Chipper. I was separating the call signs from the actual people, right? Like, and Maverick is
you have
one.
to.
Yeah,
you have
right.
to.
Like Maverick is the best character, period. But he may or may not have
Correct.
been my number 1 call
Correct.
sign. So, as far as a call sign goes, I like Wolfman. I think it's cool. Steve Hicks always used to call me Teen Wolf because he thought I was really hairy. So
I know how that
I
feels.
like it.
And next one is Cougar. Where do we put? Some people like Cougar. I'm not very high on Cougar. To me, Cougar.
I put it like a 10.
Okay, Bubble Boy, what do you think on Cougar?
Cougar was 4 on my list.
4? Oh, I don't know. He's higher for me. I'm gonna say, dude, I kind of agree with Jose. I think I'm gonna put him at number 10.
Yeah, I mean, if it's an XRT rating, 10's fine.
Cougar number 10. Moving on to the next. Ooh, Hollywood. Where are we gonna put Hollywood? Bubble Boy, where do you have? I mean, I saw him on your list. I could make that one out on your phone. So where is Hollywood on top on
6.
this list? Number 6. Okay, Jose.
I would say 6 or 7.
Okay, 6 it is. Hollywood. And next one, Viper. Where does the old Viper go? Jose, let's start with you on this one. Viper. I don't know if I like.
I think a Viper's the top 5 one for me. I think that's
really
a sick name.
Okay, it's gonna come down to Bubble Boy. Bubble Boy, what do you think?
I don't like snakes, so I had him higher.
Where was he
10.
number? You don't like snakes. I think you said you like snakes.
Oh God, no! Who likes snakes? Crazy people.
Jake the Snake.
I mean, okay, here's the thing though. Is Viper cooler than Slider, Jester, or Stinger? I think Viper is higher than Stinger. So yeah, I'm gonna have to put him at number 11. Sorry, Jose. Viper is number 11 on list because Chance had him higher too. So next one. Now we're getting into some good ones here. Go ahead, Bubble Boy.
I was just gonna say, let's get rid of the bad one on there. Like, come on, and then we'll get.
Okay. What's the bad one on there? Just
Stinger.
Slinger. Okay.
Stinger's dumb. I think. I don't know.
A Stinger. Yeah, I agree. Stinger. You're right. That's what I was thinking. So Stinger number 12, right, Jose?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So right now, as it stands, guys, we've got Chipper 14, Charlie 13, Stinger 12, Viper 11, Cougar 10, Merlin 9. I'm liking it so far. Okay, let's jump into the real names here. Slider. Where do we have Slider? Is basically, guys, are these from now on top 5, or we're going to the middle of the pack? So that's where you got to think about from now on. What are your top 5? I'll start with this one. I would put Slider. Oops, I'm gonna keep that on there. I would put I would put Slider at 7. Let's hear what you guys think.
I'd put Slider at 11 and move Viper to 8.
we can't change Viper. It's been done. So you got to pick where you want to put
8.
Slider. Jose, what did you, or BubbleBoy, what about you?
Yeah, 8 makes sense to me.
Really? You
Yeah.
think?
Yeah. Again, the character, you can't think of like.
You think? Wait. I gotta
stink.
object here.
Like,
you
can't
think
of that.
okay? You think Goose is cooler than Slider? Really? All right. Well, you guys both agree. So number 8 is going to be Slider. All right. Let's just jump right into it. Goose. Where are we putting Goose? Jose, where do you have Goose? 1? Holy caca. Are you insane? You're insane. You're absolutely insane.
It's the only call sign that's actually named after something in the sky. In the sky that flies, that is naturally there.
Okay. BubbleBoy, what was yours? Mine is.
I gotta say, I'm impressed with that, Jose. He is right on that. The only airborne actual thing on there.
But that's not what calls.
But Goose does not go that high, that low on the list. I'm sorry, I can't put Goose at 7. Or at number 1. Sorry,
I have him at 7. I'm gonna say it right now.
Sorry,
I think Goose should be 7.
I think he's at least top 4.
Jose, look at these
top
names. 4. These are freaking cool ass names, dude. I'm sorry.
Sundown? What does Sundown mean?
Guys,
explain that to
Chance, come on, agree with. Dude, I
So
think Sundown honestly might be
Sundown-
my favorite. Like, I'm not even, dude. Sundown is such a sick ass name, dude. That is a sick name. That sun is going down on the horizon. Like that, at least it deals with flying a little bit. Jose, Chance, I gotta say, I feel like Jester, Sundown, Ice, and Maverick does have to be the top 4. So my vote is Goose has got to be 7. Maybe we can also alter it if you want to move Wolfman and Hollywood. But I love this list so far.
I would put Jester at 7. I really would. I like it, and I think what they were trying for was like they couldn't do Joker, right? So they were like, "Well, what can we do?"
I'll put Jester at 7. Well, actually, let's hear what Jose
should have
says.
gone Joker. I don't know why they couldn't have said Joker. But
Jose, what about Jester for you? 7?
Sorry, I'm fine with it at 7. I'm fine with it at 7.
Top 4. Okay, we'll do that. Jester is 7. Now we have to go to our top 4. Sorry, I already deleted Goose. So we have from now. I disagree with the Goose thing. I think somebody else should be higher, but we have Goose, Sundown, Iceman, Maverick. Dude, Sundown is sick, you guys. I think. Whew, I love it. I love that name. Sorry, go ahead. So let's. What do we want to do? Go ahead, BubbleBoy.
So here's where you have to have a debate, and since other people will be hearing this, that we really have to think about with Sundown. Sundown is a very racist name as well. He is the only character.
I know he's the black
guy.
Yeah.
He is the only character of color, and his name is basically an analogy for darkness. And so
okay, but again, we can't think about the character in the movie.
Yeah, I agree with Dan. It doesn't matter who played it.
This is just anybody.
It's just what the name is by itself.
If you were gonna pick from Goose, Sundown,
Goose,
Ice, and Maverick, which one would you want? Okay, so regardless,
I would put Sundown at 4, but again, it's hard for me to like.
See, Sundown's my number 1. And where did you want Sundown, Jose?
4.
So
I would settle
for.
I would settle for putting Goose at 4, though. If you want,
Put him at 3.
I'm fine with putting Goose at 4.
Okay, Goose. I agree. Goose has got to be 4, right? Come on, are we insane here? Goose higher than Sundown? I'm sorry. Executive decision. Come on.
We got to spell Goose right.
Goose. Though. Yeah. And then I'll do Sundown. Wait. We got to have the debate. You guys think Maverick is cooler than Sundown as a call sign?
Yes. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. That's not even a question.
Iceman is cooler than Sundown.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I got outvoted. There it is, guys. Sundown number 3, and it comes down to randomly, of course, the two. See, and this was similar because I got this idea from the guys over at Kinda Funny. Shout out to Kinda Funny in review. They did this similar ranking when they did their top of the first movie in review. All right, let's hear it. Who's number one and who's number two? I think Maverick is cool, but no.
Name that movie.
I actually don't know.
Jose knows it. I know.
Is it
Jose
Dumb and
knows it.
Dumber?
No, see, I know Jose didn't know it either. What is it, Chance? I'm
Oh,
sure
I'm
if you
drawing
say
a
it, I'll
blank.
remember.
I cannot think of the name. It's She's Out of Your League, or She's Out of My League.
She's Out of My League.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah,
a Judd
man.
Apatow film, right?
Yeah, and with all the nerdy guys, and like they had the one nerdy
For
guy.
for our audio listener, well, actually nobody knows. Chance wrote down Footlong as number one. I'm just gonna delete that. Anyway, back to the discussion at hand here. Bubble Boy. Yes, go ahead.
No, I have to explain it. If you haven't seen She's Out of My League, is a really, really underrated, like, it's definitely a comedy, but I guess maybe a rom-com comedy. But it's this like super nerdy guy that I think we can all appreciate, that happens to this really, really pretty girl falls in love with him, and it's about their relationship. But her ex-boyfriend was a Navy fighter pilot, and the guy, he's obviously feeling like super intimidated by him the whole time. She's like, the dude's like, oh my God, that was your old boyfriend. Like, how can I compete with that? And the whole time. And then like towards the end, they actually go and see him because he's like one of the Blue Angels or something. And in his call sign on the side of his plane, it just says footlong.
That sounds familiar. Maybe I've seen that clip somewhere, but
It's a great movie. It really is.
all right. So where are we? Maverick and Iceman. Who's number one? Who's number two? I believe Kind of Funny actually had Iceman.
Yeah, I would
as
choose
number
Iceman.
one.
That's a sick
Are we
name.
feeling the same way,
Straight up.
Jose? All right. There it is. So it is done. The official XRT ranking of the original Top Gun call signs. Here it is. Number 14, Chipper. Number 13, Charlie. Number 12, Stinger. Number 11, Viper. Number 10, Cougar. Number 9, Merlin. Number 8, Slider. Number 7, Jester. Number 6, Hollywood. Number 5, Wolfman. Number 4, Goose. Number 3, Sundown. Number 2, Maverick. And number 1, as cool as they are, Iceman, or Ice in Top Gun Maverick. Make sure to tune in next week. We are going to be ranking the new call signs from Top Gun Maverick. So get ready for that one. Guys, if I had to change a few things just looking at this, I really like it. I think Hollywood is cooler than Wolfman. I also think that Slider is cooler than Jester. And that would probably be my only 2 changes there. And then Sundown's number 1 for me. It's such a cool name. You got to get over that. Who's playing that? Sundown. That's so cool. Sundown. It's cool. Anyway, go ahead, guys. Any closing thoughts on
Just excited for next week.
It is cool. I always think when I think of Iceman, I think of Sub-Zero too, and I just like, it's just so cool, and the name cool, right? Ice cool. It's perfect. It can't not be Iceman.
I think of X-Men too, to be honest. I was like, oh, maybe that's where they got it from. But no, Iceman was way before, and that's where they probably got it from. So, guys, that has been our official ranking for Top Gun call signs. Gentlemen, let's close the show like we always do with the best food we had this week. I will go first. I sent you guys a picture of us eating at a nice small town USA restaurant. We are in Western Pennsylvania on the Ohio-Pennsylvania border. And I went on a date night with Ellie, and shout out to Muscarella's at Cafe Italia. It was delicious. I ordered the Kobe beef burger and it had, what was on it, guys? It was a random, this is what threw it off. Okay. The Kobe beef
Had an egg, didn't it?
Yeah, delicious. Anything with an egg on the burger instantly makes it better. But here's what was throwing it off, Bubble Boy. Kobe beef, it was okay. I don't think I really noticed anything different, or if it was really Kobe beef, but it had peppered pork belly on it. At first, when they brought it out, I thought it was bacon, like thick slices of bacon. No, it was a very salty pork. And that immediately threw the whole thing off. As soon as I removed that, Capped the egg on, of course, and smothered that goodness in, and then added a little bit of ketchup. Totally made the burger revolutionary, as good as the Royal Red Robin. But I could have just gone to Red Robin and gotten a Royal Red Robin. But they had delicious garlic Parmesan fries. Those were delicious. Again, I'm not a fry person. I was eating those fries last night. And I had a delicious blackberry old fashioned. Only problem though, a little too sweet. The blackberries, it was too sweet of an old fashioned. Allie had 2 flights of wine. She had a white flight, and then she got the tour of Italy, which is like a different colors. But shout out, the actual best thing that was there, and I should have gotten it, which Allie was eating. She had the gnocchi with red sauce, and it was absolutely delicious. If you go to this place for some reason, which probably none of you will, or if you're in Western Pennsylvania and Hermitage, Sharpsville area, you've probably already heard of it, and they go here, get the Italian food and get the wedding soup. That has been the best food I've had this week, in addition to Allie's mom cooking us delicious meals as well. Jose, what was the best food? Can you even taste food at this point? I don't know.
I can't taste food, which is thankfully, because the first time I had COVID, yes, I said that right. First time I had COVID, I couldn't smell. I could taste, but I couldn't smell. It was weird. Anyway, I just spent the last week in New Orleans, and there is some pretty dang good food out there. And here's the thing. I am not a seafood guy. Like I like shellfish, and that's fine. It's delicious. I'm not a fish guy at all, though. Some of the best things I had out there, I had a shrimp and grits that was just freaking phenomenal. I had a shrimp po' boy, which was super awesome. If you like a real full like New Orleans po' boy, which is great. I tried grilled oysters for the first time. I'm not a fan of oysters that are raw, but I tried grilled and they were actually pretty good. I don't know if I'd be ordering like a half dozen on my own, but I'm glad I did. And I also had redfish, and it was delightful. And again, I'm not a fish guy at all, so definitely check those things out. But the thing that I have to give it up, I was in the homeland, boys. I went to the Popeyes right there on Canal Street in Louisiana, where that chicken comes from, and it was delightful.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Love that chicken from Popeyes. And I went twice. And the best part was on the second time that I went, I was like in line, and I was like, yeah, can I get a spicy chicken sandwich? And I did my thing. And the guy next to me was like, can I get 2 spicy chicken sandwiches? And I looked at him, and he looked at me, and we were like, good choice, brother. Like,
wait.
It was phenomenal, man. It was really
2?
great.
You only got 1?
Both times I only got 1, because here's the thing. It was 99 degrees there in New Orleans when I was there. 99 degrees and 70% humidity. It felt like 109. I honestly just didn't want to eat anything. I wanted to just drink water because it was so hot there. And it definitely some smells that I will never forget. They're like burned into my memory. So I was more of a like, I have to do this while I'm out here more than anything, but delicious nonetheless. And that was the best thing I had this week. Chance, how about you?
Yeah, I'm so happy you got to go to the Mecca for us. That's really impressive. And I can remember my trip to New Orleans from Mardi Gras. That was like the first time I had fish where I was like, oh, this is incredible. This is delicious. I think it was catfish, and I had a shrimp po' boy too. That was, yeah, you're absolutely right. So I'm glad you got to do those. So I know it's kind of, I don't know, maybe a cop out or not, but I had for the first time, and I know they've been out for a minute, the sour cream and cheddar ruffles, which is the #1 goat chip, the flamin' hot version of sour cream and cheddar ruffles, and I thought they were just delightful, fantastic. We also got the spicy dill, which were just honestly kind of average. Like I think I would have preferred just the regular dill, but as far as randomly adding Flamin' Hot to things, I thought they were way better than the Cool Ranch Doritos Flamin' Hot. I know. I thought they were better than Flamin' Cheetos. I loved them. Cora's been eating them with me too, and she's funny because she can kind of take the heat, but not entirely. And man, they're as good as it gets, I think, for a chip for me right now. And then one other shout out, and this is going to sound really weird. I have to give a shout out to the food court at IKEA. I know Ashley and Cora and I were there on Wednesday, and we spent $11, and all 3 of us ate, and had some of that really good pop that they have, and like the lingonberry and the lemon and strawberry and all that stuff. And we got chicken fingers and mashed potatoes and meatballs.
Hot dogs.
I'm not exactly, and I'm not hating. And for $11, are you kidding me? How do you beat that? So impressive.
You can beat it at Costco, but it's close.
I'm shocked that you didn't like the flaming hot Cool Ranch. I think those, it's like the perfect balance of flavor and heat. But Trent, have you tried the Jason Tatum Ruffles Flaming Hot? Really? Oh man, I thought those were pretty dang good. Like those are up there for
I
me.
did. And I didn't necessarily, it's not that I didn't like them, and I didn't not like the Cool Ranch. It was just, as far as adding Flamin' Hot, this was as good as it gets for me. So, and the Jason Tatum was good. And I'm sad that it was LeBron James on this one, because I think he's kind of a garbage human being, and Michael Jordan will always be the GOAT. But as far as chips
That
go,
doesn't mean that LeBron isn't great in his own right. Guys, this has been Xbox Record This episode 61. Guys, I have to give a quick breaking news shout out. Shout out to Matthew Kennedy for following the show. It just happened right now. I tagged him in a tweet because we shouted him out last week for following me on Xbox and on Twitter. I said to make sure and check him out on Twitch, and he only has 5,000 gamer score. And I said, we forgive you for your gamer score, Matthew, but we expect to see it grow up this year. And then Matthew wrote in, he just wrote this. He said, that's exactly where you've heard me from on PS Trophy Room. He said, and yes, pretty much brand spanking new to the Xbox ecosystem. So many insane Xbox titles to catch up on. So little time. So welcome aboard, Matthew. Shout out again. Thanks for writing in. Guys, my name is Daddy Diwali. You can follow me at Daddy Diwali across Twitter and all social media, gamer tag, PSN, Nintendo. I don't know anymore. Chipotle Bear, where can people find you?
You can find me at Chipotle_Bear on Twitter, and Matthew Kennedy also just followed me right now. So shout out to Matt. Thank you, buddy. You can find me on Instagram at Chipotle Bear. Look at some of the adventures from New Orleans. It was a lot of fun. We got to see some live gators and stuff like that. But other than that, man, always slide into those DMs. Happy to chat with the fans.
And BubbleBoy, are you still active on social media?
I don't know, but you can find me in my basement, where I've got 12 IKEA boxes over here right now.
Cannot
just
wait
stuff
to
together.
see BubbleBoy's new set that he spent thousands on and hundreds of hours of building himself. And as always, you can reach the show at xboxrecordthis@gmail.com or xboxrecordthis across all social media. Thank you so much for listening, watching, engaging. And as always, Top Gun aviators, see you online.
See you online.
See you online.
See you online.
Yeah, I called her up. She gave me a bunch of crap about me not listening to her enough or something. I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention.
Xbox Record This is a podcast created by Daniel Walenzik. You can follow him at Daddy Diwali on all social media. The assistant to the co-host is Jose Martinez, and you can follow him at Chipotle_Bear on Twitter. The assistant to the co-host is Chance Siegel, and you can follow him at BubbleBoy7. You can follow the show at Xbox Record This on all social media. If you'd like to find out more about the show, visit xboxrecordthis.com.